Hello and welcome to Salando Soundwaves. I'm Fletcher Wilson, and this is week 7, day 31. Today our reading is Romans 1:18-23. The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, His eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse. For although they knew God, they neither glorified Him as God nor gave thanks to Him, but their thinking became futile and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like mortal man and birds and animals and reptiles. Now let's consider our 7 arrows, or 7 questions. What does the passage say? What did this passage mean to its original audience? What does this passage tell us about God? What does this passage tell us about mankind? What does this passage demand of me? How does this passage change the way I relate to people? What does this passage prompt me to pray to God? Now let's look at the brief devotional about this passage on page 46 of our game. We've already read a description of Adam and Eve's sin, the consequences they received from God, and the way that their sin still affects us today. For us to truly understand the fall, however, it's important that we also consider the exact nature of sin, so we know when we see it in our lives and appreciate just what it is that Jesus delivers us from. Paul describes sin in Romans using the picture of an exchange. We know this concept well. Every day we make exchanges, particularly when we spend money. We exchange a certain amount of money for food, clothes, or movie tickets. Paul said that sin is, by definition, giving glory that rightly belongs to God to some other created thing. That's a really bad switch. Rather than finding joy in celebrating God's glory, men and women love, serve, and celebrate created things as if they were God. Things like popularity, money, good grades, sports, relationships, or any other thing that God has made. Anytime we value something over God, that's sin. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you'll tune in tomorrow.